This video is beautiful and contains strange images, and we will see a very beautiful story. I really like that doing good is never lost. I hope you continue the video for the next one. Let's start. With Sheikh Khaled Al-Jundi, the Union published his picture with the news that Khaled Al-Jundi says about magic, "Countries are destroyed by remote control, and we are still believers." Sheikh Khaled Al-Jundi confirmed that the Islamic nation is facing a real crisis related to the issue of magic, pointing out that the matter has become common among people despite being one of the matters that has been denied in legal texts. He said during television statements, "Imagine telling you that there is a magical origin. Eating magic existed before the Prophet and ended. It's no use." Sheikh so-and-so and Sheikh Alan said that in this arena there is a situation that has spread among people because of the magic fatwas that God did not reveal. Sultan also said that the history of the Copts, Nasa'a al-Barad, did not emerge from them. A terrorist blew himself up. Counselor Abdel Majid Jaber wrote a prayer spirit. "I stood next to one who visited me every now and then. I told him, 'What do you want?' He told me to level the ranks so that Satan does not enter us. I told him, 'Brother, let him pray. May God guide him and accept his gift.'" Hala Sarhan published this news on Russian television, RT. Russian television announced major injuries, fires, and the Ashkelon gas station being out of service. F-35 planes were struck on the ground, and the response was posted on X and in China in Arabic. Israeli media reports that a Palestinian was killed by an Iranian missile in Jericho, the only death so far. Shahinaz wrote a play to prepare for what was to come. Ibrahim wrote empty missiles with no warheads, just the whole show, their enemies. For Israel, which is originally a strong ally of Israel, Allah Muhammad wrote, a gas station. All these missiles are for a gas station. It is as if someone was going to burn his car and throw a cigarette in it. It would have caused more damage than that. Murad wrote, and we will continue the drama. After a while, greetings to you. Hossam wrote, 2 workers. Like Al Jazeera, but on the other hand, Sarah wrote. Russian television is hateful towards Israel. It expelled it from the sites of the events. Impartiality, and its news is fabricated and falsified. Every lie was written in many videos. Eyed missiles descend without a destructive warhead, someone else wrote. He was on a visit to Lasari, someone else wrote. Putin was on a visit to Iran 2 days ago. Iran is launching hypersonic missiles. Ibrahim Issa said, commenting on the Iranian strike on Israel with all your blows, "This is not a terrorist operation in the street." He meant that any terrorist operation will have 23 victims. Die, but this. Is there any approximation no one died? Karim Jahin wrote, "Do we miss you?" To the Mujahideen brothers from the Muslim Brotherhood and all the inhabitants of the Arab world, we know that Sisi and the Egyptian army prevented you for an entire year from supporting your brothers in Gaza and stopped the crossing in their face. Now Lebanon's airport is open and visa-free for Egyptians in particular and for the entire Arab world, and Lebanon needs your support. Follow Twitter, and jihadists go against the Israeli army after Hezbollah Mujahideen escaped and hid in trenches like their brothers from Hamas. Go and be martyred to join Hassan Nasrallah. Please stay for Dr. Khaled Montaser's exciting comments. He always posted the picture and wrote on it. A picture from the Faculty of Fine Arts. You feel that they are in mourning. Muhammad is not aware of it. He wrote it. I doubt the authenticity of this picture. Fine Arts is a common college, meaning boys and girls. Medicine, where are the boys? Dr. Khaled said that they did not go through the epidemic. Michelle wrote that the percentage of boys in the Faculty of Fine Arts does not exceed 10%, and Dina actually wrote these fine arts ateliers. Zamalek Nefertiti wrote, "Is this a Faculty of Arts? Where are these arts? This is the college of the miserable and single people on earth." Hanan wrote something strange, even though many sheikhs consider painting and sculpture forbidden. Amal wrote hopes. "What does the unbeautiful hope look like? A princess?" The College of Misery wrote. "Not a fine arts college? This is what we wrote. What a loss. Our sweetest college." I remember these songs were glamorous, artistic, inspiring, Majid. This is what the sad College of Arts wrote. Hanan wrote, "I think if you said you took photos of us unawares in our workplaces, it would be similar to these photos." Everyone suffers in one way or another, doctor, and we can only say that God will help everyone. Dr. Khaled Montaser left when someone told him and doubted that it was a picture of fine art. He will publish the pictures again and write on them a picture from the College of Fine Arts that makes you feel like they are in a funeral marquee without an auditorium, and between brackets is a photo of Dr. Ahmed Hosni, a professor of fine arts, to confirm that it is a photo of a doctor. At the college, they also posted the photo, writing on it a photo of the former minister with female employees of the Ministry of Tourism. The picture was also published by a health unit in Kafr el-Sheikh. This is a picture of Abbasiyah Hospital in 1947, and the one under one of the hospitals in 2016. Of course, the difference is clear, and it is also clear that schools have become, in the past, under the picture of these schools. The Time also published the picture was the one on the right now, and the one on the north in the 60s and 70s. Also unfortunate news, sabotaging the music school. They link the incident to extremist speeches, and it is written in the news and pictures that we see. That the incident of sabotage of the music school in the municipality of Partnership in the capital opened a SPA discussion about the return of extremist discourses in society, and many activists linked them to the incident of destroying a statue. Al-Fawara was appointed in the summer state on 2 previous occasions. Extremist, it was believed that it had disappeared a long time ago, and the video scenes of which we see pictures on social media showed the halls of Benaid, the music school in the capital, completely destroyed from ceiling to floor, as it began to look as if they had been subjected to a violent explosion. The drywall hanging from the ceiling is shattered, the windows and doors are shattered, and the electrical wires are broken. Cut as well. Happened with furniture and tables, as there was nothing left for him. He remained in the halls of the building and the owner of the video. He pointed out that the saboteurs were not interested in stealing the foundation, or that the matter was related to a robbery. They attacked the place for the purpose of destruction only, and the observers wondered how they attacked the building, and about the reason for the absence of guards in this educational institution, and how these people were able to infiltrate and remain in the building for a sufficient period of time, enabling them to completely destroy it, especially since they certainly made a lot of noise in this incident. He also made unfortunate pictures on the previous pictures that were of the hijab. Saleh Mansour wrote to Dr. Khaled Montaser, uncle of the doctor, "You have not ruined anything in your life except that you look at any picture that contains a hijab or niqab and sit and cry over it." This is a message in life. I mean, if they remove the hijab, the country will advance, the dollar will decline, and scientific research will advance. Ranking of universities in Egypt, what is it? We win Nobel Prizes and World Cups. How do you manage? Seriously? Dr. Khaled replied, "Imagine us enduring it." Masad wrote, "Condolences will come and they'll fulfill their duties with you." Dr. Khaled said, "Of course you've secured immortality. What about you? In general, do you have heaven's result from control?" Ahmed wrote, "Whom did Aidak write to?" Right, you're looking. You post pictures of students on Facebook like this. Who? The truth is that you are raising because of some patients, mental patients, who are afraid of being bullied. You're somewhat mentally ill, lacking even the slightest civilization methods. Dr. Khaled responded to him and said to him, "Am I tired of you or wasting someone? Is this the picture?" Picked it up. Their teacher is Ahmed Hosni, and they know, a normal post, and Facebook money as well. I didn't know how to fish in the water. This turbidity is a genius. Nasser Iraq wrote, "May God have mercy on our days at the College of Fine Arts." Dr. Khaled responded to him, "Sculpture is forbidden. Angels do not enter a house in it. Pictures. This is most of this generation's concept of art." Also written by Dr. Khaled Montaser, Sculpture Department at the College of Fine Arts. All those who enter the college believing that it is forbidden in the first place, a belief to which I responded. She told him that there is a legal rule in it for them, saying that harms justify prohibitions and take knowledge, even in China, and the end justifies the means and so on. I mean, I got excited. I wrote her AO, unfortunately. Even in the teaching of nuns, they say this. Frania wrote, "What did he say? Who threw you into the forbidden?" The coordination office said, "This coordination." Rania wrote, "What is possible for him to succeed in abilities?" And he sees, according to his group, that this is the most suitable college for him, but not out of conviction. Unfortunately, not everyone continues to enter it for artistic taste, so I regret it. So Nermeen wrote, "That's it. Excavate the statues so that they remain legitimate." Khaled Abdin wrote, "From the moment he followed you, while I read him about a completely different person." Dr. Khaled responded to him and said to him, "Please advise me. I will go to a psychiatrist and not drink camel urine or watch Al-Sharawi. A lot. I hope for advice and treatment." On the other hand, Yusuf Abdo wrote urgently, "The Arab League threatens Israel to play the Arab Dream song loudly. Good things remain." Never gets lost. A young man recently graduated from university, entered a large company, aspiring to get a job there. And his heart's energies were struggling because this company is one of the largest companies in the country, and its owner is one of the richest, and everyone is rushing to get a job there, including the sons of officials and middlemen owners. So the young man was excited on the one hand, and who? The other side is concerned. He wonders among himself how he can compete with all of these people. And he is the poor young man, the son of a simple employee who died and left him nothing of the world's wealth, but he remembers his father's words, "My son, do not be afraid. Permanent A. Trust God in everything. Trust Him in your life no matter what, and do not grieve for anything you did not get. Maybe you were good at it without knowing it." The important thing is that the young man entered the office. The director of personnel, presenting his papers, asked them to wait for a call to be announced with the result. The young man walked out almost certain that the result would be negative if someone originally contacted him, and they did not throw his request in the nearest basket, trash. Several days have passed since the interview. Several. The young man did not reflect much on this suddenly difficult job. Coffee? A call? The spokesman asked him to come to the company at 5 p.m. to conduct an interview. The young man was happy with the call. He wore his best clothes and went according to the appointment. The information officer barked his name, and the latter said to him as he stood up, "Respect your people and ease, O Professor. Nice to meet you. Enlighten the company. Please, I'll take you to the chairman's room." The young man was surprised and smiled and told the employee, "Sure, there's a misunderstanding. The body apparently confused me with someone else. I'm just a simple human looking for a job." The man asked him in surprise, "Aren't you Professor so-and-so? Your father is so-and-so from so-and-so's house, and you have an appointment now at 5 Sao?" The young man answered, "Yes, I am." The man said, smiling, "I'm not wrong, Professor. Your appointment with the chairman of the board of directors, who is the owner of the company, and he himself is the one who recommended to receive you with a feeling worthy of your position from the horror of surprise." The young man's eyes were bigger than usual. He couldn't believe his ears. There must be something he's preparing for, or they're making fun of him. The clerk asked him to follow him, but with fear and great surprise. It was astonishment. Larger, he enters the office of the proud chairman. Once the information officer knew about him, so we show everyone in the office respect for him. He did not believe what he saw, did not understand what was happening, and was certain that confusion had occurred and that everyone would soon realize it. The evil of his expulsion would be dispelled. If he had been the son of a minister, he would not have received this hospitality. He waited several minutes, then the secretary asked him to come in. He entered the stately office and saw the chairman seated. As soon as the latter saw her, we got up from the chair, came to the young man, and Ghazal in his arms, kissed him on his forehead, and said, "My people, my people." The young man's poison and pen came out. "Thank you, sir, for this hospitality, but most likely you think I am someone else, for I have not been honored. I've only seen you on TV sometimes, or in newspapers and magazines." The proprietor of the company smiled, went to the drawer of his office, took out a small old picture, and showed it to the young man who had faded to see it. He stood up as if he had been struck by lightning and said, almost screaming, "This is an old picture of my late father. Where did you get it? Did you know him?" The late company's owner said, "Is this good man dead?" The young man said, "But I did not understand, so from where? None of the richest people in the country know my father?" He is a very humble man, a simple employee of the railroad who lived hidden until the last day of his life. The owner of the company said with tears in his eyes, "Let me tell you the story from the beginning. Many years ago, I was still a young man in my prime, and my dreams were big, and I decided to travel because I did not succeed in a job in my country. My travel day approached, and I packed my things in the bag and said goodbye to my sick father. I told him when he settled down, 'I'm taking you to me.' I got on the train and sat on the window ledge with my tears falling alone. Sitting next to me was a single young man my age. He asked me the reason for my sadness, so I told him what happened to me, and how I left my sick father when he had given me all the money he had to manage my future, and this cheap money. 'You're not going to help me settle down in exile?' He reached into his pocket. He took out his wallet, took out all the papers in it, left the money, and gave me the wallet with the money. He said that he had a dream too, but failed to achieve it, and he told me, 'Please fulfill our dreams.' I was surprised, and told him that I could not accept it, but after his strong insistence, I took it and asked him how to return it to them. He smiled and told me that he had just received his pension and that he would fend for himself. The important thing is that I succeed, settle down, fulfill one of his dreams, and ask me for my name. My house. And he told me not to mind your father's business. Believe me, he'll be fine. I told him. The tear escaped my eyes. 'Tell me about your name.' At least he told me about his name and said that they called him the Good Man. When I arrived in the country of exile, I opened the wallet and found the money. I found this picture, and it says behind it, 'His triple name, kept by the memory of this noble man.' And kind-hearted, and in exile I was hired and promoted and founded my own company. After several years, my business flourished, and all the thanks go to your father, who did not touch my father until his death. Your father and I were always communicating through correspondence, and suddenly war broke out, and communication with the homeland was cut off. And with your father, but your back, I looked everywhere for your father, but I couldn't find him, and I swore to keep his fidelity as long as I lived. Since that day, I have been helping every day someone I do not know. I have sat in bus stations, sometimes in the market, and sometimes in hospitals. God bears witness that not a single day has passed without me helping someone in need, and whenever I blush I tell him that you must thank my friend, the kind-hearted man. Without him, I would not have been able to really help you, my son, because your late father is my partner. In all his good deeds and in all his faithfulness, I gave her. The young man's eyes filled with tears, and he said, "May God have mercy on my father. He always encouraged me to help others and said to me, 'My son, help. God will reward you with goodness from him even after a while. Your life, your death, or your children are some of you, and do not underestimate any good deed.'" No matter how small, it can change a person's life without them knowing it. The rich man got up, and his eyes teary too, and said, "I have not examined anyone's employment application myself for 20 years, and I have designated employees concerned with this, but an internal phone call prompted me to ask the manager for all the new employment files, and I myself do not know why. I began to examine them one by one, and as soon as his eyes fell. In your image, until I knew you immediately, you are an exact image of your late father, and thank God that I will be able to repay his kindness and favor, and I know that you have been returned to me and in my private office, and I will be careful to make you a successful person that your late father will be proud of. And as the Bible said, do not prevent good from his family when it is in your power to do it." In the book of Proverbs chapter. Yes, and may the name of God be blessed. If you like my video, subscribe to the channel and ring the bell to receive everything new, and share with us with comments. Thanks to all the fans and followers. Thank you.